something happening in your community, contact us via Facebook. Back soon.
Hi there, this is Dr. James Wright. My topic today is about mobile phones. The question is, are there any new precautions with mobile phones? Well now, a variety of disorders are attributed to constant use of mobiles. These range from increased blood pressure to cancer of areas adjacent to the source of radiation exposure. The antenna is the bogey. Latest comments from the British Medical Journal indicate hands-free kits are probably best, being safer than units held against the head. Keep the mobile as far from the body as possible. The keypad should face the body. Now for more information on this and heaps of other medical tips and medical topics, you simply visit my website, which is docwright.com.au. I'm the Merry Medic, Dr. James Wright.
This is In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donny on VCA 885 FM, where the valley comes alive. It's time the boys got serious. Strap yourself in for Controversy Corner.
The good doctor's had more comebacks than John Farnham, hasn't he?
Didn't we sack him?
I think we did, but someone's put him on the list now. Normally we just write it in there, and then now they've actually put it in there for us to play.
The doctor giving you advice about find a good one.
Yeah, I might just put a
controversial one.
Yeah, something to open up into this program. We've got two really good topics for the Controversy Corner tonight. We'd love to hear your opinion on this. You can either hit us up on Facebook, send us through a message, or hit us up on Twitter at TheSheds885. Get in touch, let us know what you think. The first one, not so much controversial anymore, but I think the decision around to even mention this is controversial, and that is the Selwood bump and the fact that, he got sent off. I don't have an issue with that. The fact that they're talking about having an implication next season of him being suspended. And I feel that in a game that they're struggling to promote as it is, and they're only just started, you're not going to get your A-grade players coming into play if they know that there's a chance they're going to get rubbed out for next season.
What's a different sport? It's a completely different game. It's like Elise Perry getting red-carded in a soccer game and then not being able to play the first round of cricket. It's a completely different sport.
Did he deserve it? Yeah, it was late. It was a good hit. This was like but five should have gone as well. He had another one. He had the bull bar up going through a bloke, so he should have gone as well. But yeah, the whole idea that we're going to get a suspension is that. I understand the Irish
suspended from next year's bloody international rules series.
The Irish must have been before this series was agreed to, and the terms was we need a deterrent to have guys punching on in this game, and so in order for that to happen, there needs to be some sort of carryover into your game. So you guys start boxing on with us. There needs to be a deterrent to stop.
Well, they haven't really punched on seriously for 5 or 6 years.
Well, actually, the captain of the Irish team, I thought he was dishing it out more than any Aussie bloke, and it was good. And I thought, yeah, that was it. So, yeah, it's a non-event. It's a non-event. I think that would have been written in there as a bit of a sweetener. Come and play our game over here. We'll be fine.
The assassin has struck.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, for those that listened last week, we had the assassin, Sean Olasenko, join us on air, and we thought we could save ourselves from being attacked if we let him have a segment each week.
Not working.
It's not worked. He hasn't had his segment yet, which might be why he's attacking. But
we've still got 15 minutes. 50 minutes.
Yeah,
he's into you.
Yeah, I know that's a shock for you, Brucey. He's not happy. Don't refer to Fife just because you don't like his man bun.
He's not a proper player.
So I suppose for me the question is the fact that he got sent off. So he got black carded, which meant that he wasn't allowed to participate anymore in the game, but he could be replaced by somebody else. So it's an interest. It's not a red card where you're gone and your player's down a player.
As I said, I think this has got more to do with them being worried about getting boxed on, and we need to.
Yeah. I'm just wondering at the concept of a black card, whether that's something that AFL would consider? Because, I mean, just about every other sport has a send-off or a temporary suspension as an option. It's not something that you can even consider in AFL. It's one of the anomalies.
There's too many
of the
rules
sport.
with that sort of thing. I don't really see. I do agree with the send-off rule, and we got people who come out and say about if a guy gets reported, if he gets 2 weeks, it should be against that team next time they play them. Because the guy knocks somebody out, they're down a player in the rotation, disadvantage, yada yada. But there's no advantage going back the other way about having the guy sent off. So it's...
I just don't understand why you would suggest... we've only just, in the last 2 series, gotten the actual All-Australian side. And let's not forget that the last few years... Well, the last 10 years, when we've played this game against Ireland, we haven't had the All-Australian team.
We've coach.
Kevin Sheedy, this is the one you're talking about with all the Blues, that was half the Essendon side because Kevin Sheedy was still the Essendon coach.
Coach-selected team.
Yeah, and basically Mark McVeigh...
It's been so far, but the Irish did not enjoy it.
No, and Mark McVeigh punched out a few people. Yeah. I never liked Eddie Maguire as a commentator, but I did love him in that because he's sitting there trying to justify, it's all in good fun. You're like, mate, he's just punched out this bloke for no reason. You can't justify. And it was lovely to see Eddie trying to support the Aussies and going, oh, no. It wasn't his players that were punching people out. It's other teams, so he's probably happy with it.
I loved it.
Oh, it was. It was a pure Kevin Sheedy style game where they've just gone out there and just boxed on. Even the guys that have come from other teams, suddenly just learned how to punch and just box on.
We're going the knuckle early.
Yeah, they really set the tone in that one. But, we finally got the series to a standard where we're actually getting the AFL's best. We're getting the All-Australian team, bar a few that, have issues and need to stay home, which we talked about last week.
Poor Barry.
Yeah. But, we've got a good team.
What was your
coming
opinion?
through? I thought it was good. Yeah,
what
it was
your
tight.
Opinion?
I thought it was well played.
Apart from my TV not working the other night,
yeah,
so watched it on the small screen.
I was going to bring that up in the Blowtorch. So
that second half, it really heated up, and people were getting into it, and people that at the start of the game might not have given a rat's, but by the end of it, they were standing and cheering as that Eddie Betts kicked that last set shot.
I will pump him up a little bit here, Ollie. I did say this to you, Albie, that I was struggling. I was supporting. I can't even say it.
Yeah,
you were supporting Ireland.
No. I was supporting Nat. That guy from down south. Yeah,
he
played very well.
He was in a different league that game. Another good player was Cade Simpson. He was phenomenal in both games. He was probably, if Fife hadn't played as well as he did in that first game, I dare say he probably would have taken out the best on ground for the two because he's running off the half back and setup was. Dane
Zorko was another one for me. Had that 10-minute period where he just went into animal mode, and I thought he really changed the momentum of the game.
And just scored at will.
Yeah, and he was just throwing blokes around. He went into a different mode, and all of a sudden
I did enjoy seeing Zach Toohey and Patrick Dangerfield have a bit of a biffo off the ball as well, and you just thought and that's what people say about the state of origin, saying they won't box on. It's like get stuffed. These guys are on the same team and they're playing for a different. They're playing for their country. They were and it didn't look like it was a bit of friendly banter. They were getting stuck right into each other, and But yeah, I was pretty happy with it, and they've already announced that Perth will probably get another game in next season. If they do it, next season will be in Ireland, so the season after will be back here in Australia. And I can't
new stadium.
At the new stadium, I can't see why not. We've had it the last few years, and generally Subiaco's done a good job. Yeah, we've got the Albie beer on tap, mate. Yeah.
Look, my point of view, I gave it a tick. I thought it was good. Good standard from both sides. The skill levels.
The Irish team made up a lot of amateurs too. So I mean, there's a few of those blokes that must have impressed, and
they did.
There's got to be some AFL clubs having a good hard look at some of them.
Oh, definitely.
They held their own.
Definitely. We'll get into the Ashes team, and obviously this caused a little, not a little bit, this caused a fair bit of controversy, probably more so with two selections more than others, and that was with Sean Marsh and Tim Payne. Tim Payne being selected over Neville as the outright keeper, and And as people were quick to point out, the Australian coach scored a Test century more recently than he has.
More recently.
No, a Sheffield Shield century more recently than Tim Payne. Yeah, I saw that stat too. It's pretty unbelievable. It's
now I heard on the way in today that we're talking like 5:45 or about 10 to 6. They were saying that apparently Sean Marsh has been given the all clear. Maxwell has still travelled.
Marsh has got to play. If he pulls out injured, he'll never play Test cricket again. No. This is his absolute last chance. And it's funny with Sean Marsh. He's generally been dropped not because of form but because of injury. Yeah. And for it to happen again, it's like, well, you've got to run out of patience with a bloke in his mid-30s. At some point, you've got to say, well, your body just wasn't up to it.
And the one who probably I heard it first through was a Eastern States commentator who's been pushing the wheelbarrow for Glenn Maxwell to be joining in there. So he's saying that it's not, but he hasn't been flying up there for cover for Warner. Warner's basically come out and said, I did my neck 2 days ago, and he can't move his neck. He faced 2 balls in the nets, and they're saying, oh no, it's not cover for him, it's cover for Marsh.
David Warner might be in some doubt as well.
He's got to be in danger. He's come out and said, no, I'm right. Well,
so that would mean Marsh and Bancroft to open.
Well,
with Maxwell coming in at 6. So.
There is no way in the world Maxwell's going to come in.
He's not going to open.
He's not going to open.
No way.
No, Maxwell is, he's not an opener.
You'd open.
He's not a
with
test
Marsh. Marsh and Bancroft open for WA, so that's not
Maxwell's
idea.
Maxwell's your opener as a 2020 batter.
Yeah, he's not a test batsman, so you're thinking...
when you got the field restrictions, you want him smashing every single 6 he can, but you're not going to do that in a test.
So, yeah, I feel there's a little bit of scuttlebutt going on there as far as...
Well, they were talking today, and they were saying that it's about a 50-50 chance of Marsh playing, basically.
But who's come out and said that?
Yeah.
It's been...
Eastern State, they hate Sean Marsh over there. They really despise him. As much as everybody hated Shane Watson when he was, getting
number
out
6, number 7, yeah,
couldn't make any runs and kept getting picked. That's how they feel about Sean Marsh.
The memes coming out about that were just absolutely comical. Yeah. Like, it was the greatest month of my life, where it was just everything was there'd be some person would be walking down the street bashing a bat against the window, and they're like, oh, we're going to use him to replace Shane Watson at number 3. It was just it was awesome. But yeah, look, I think everyone had a team in mind, and obviously I don't honestly think anyone could say they got 100%.
No, because nobody apart from the selectors picked Tim Payne.
Yeah, I don't even think Tim Payne picked Tim Payne.
Well, how can you be the second choice wicketkeeper at Tasmania and still get picked for Australia?
Tim Payne had to take his baggy green off eBay, because he thought, that's it, we're done, we're out of here.
To be fair, for Tim Payne to be the second choice wicketkeeper behind Matt Wade is a joke, because Matt Wade is nowhere near as good a wicketkeeper as Tim Payne.
But the selectors are driving that.
Oh, Payne is a good keeper. He's a good gloveman.
Yeah,
Matt Wade is a rubbish gloveman. He's just not.
Don't sugarcoat it.
He's not. I do not rate him as a wicketkeeper.
He's not listening, so just load up on him.
He's from Tasmania, where our broadcast does not reach to Tasmania.
He might download the podcast, which you can do if you jump onto our Facebook page or go to Spreaker.com.
I would back myself as a better keeper than Matt Wade. He is rubbish.
Now, how do you think Tim Payne? Now, keeping in mind that he's been our 2020 keeper and he plays in the shorter format of the game. And this was one of the questions that got asked today, and I think it's a very fair question. Is we have some of the fastest bowlers in the world. How do you think he's going to go playing out a Test match against that pace, where he's probably come from very the short formats and not that type of constant? Yes, he's dealt with pace, but to that effect, where he's just constantly, almost every ball is going to be coming at him.
T20's gone the other way in a lot of respects, as far as we've seen it with the Scorchers and a lot of the bowlers.